following BAC members: Attorney Mark John Palomar as chairperson, Ms. Angelina Liose, vice chairperson, Ms. Josephine Atiere, regular member, attending via Zoom, Attorney Diane Steffi Gilamon, regular member, and Superintendent Lenaro Manso Jr., provisional member and user PPT. Likewise, we have in attendance the head and members of the technical working group, head and members of the BAC secretariat.
Thank you. Considering the foregoing, the chair declares that there is no quorum. Well, HO-BAC PGCS number 068-2020 comes forward. Madam Secretary, let's schedule today.
We have a lone item in our agenda, Mr. Chair, and that is the pre-procurement conference for the provision of security screening machine operators for Philippine Ports Authority, port management offices, and terminal management offices, ports.
And if there is objection, let's proceed to the sole item on our agenda, the pre-procurement conference. Is the court please ready to present? So, ready number please. Okay, proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. For the terms of reference for the provision of security screening machine operators for Philippine Ports Authority, port management offices, and terminal management offices in each port. So rationale objective, consistent with principles of transparency, competitiveness, streamlining the use of technology in procurement, accountability, and public monitoring under RA 9184 and its revised implementing rules and regulations. These terms of reference shall inform and guide prospective bidders interested in a public and competitive bidding for the contract for port security screening operators in different port management office of the Philippine Ports Authority for a period of 1 year. So the approved budget for the contract is 128,283,128 pesos and 59 cents for 429 security screening machine operators.
Madam Secretary, nakakasing update.
Not yet, Mr. Chair.
And you are instructed to proceed with instructed to apply for the CAF. If ever that this procurement is approved, it will only be posted once you present a CAF to the Secretariat. Proceed.
Scope of undertaking. The deployment of security screening machine operators are at the following PGA office, head office, port management offices, terminal management offices, and ports located within port security cluster of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
Well, siguro natin yung security cluster dahil yung security cluster, ginawa lang natin performance and procurement ng security personnel. So it's basically, in port management office, terminal management in PPA.
Okay, sir.
Ay, pwede na pala, wala nang located.
Okay. So the position po ng security screener would be
Okay, this is for baggage X-ray and body scan machine. So wala tayong distinction dito. So either ino-procure natin tao, basta for personnel, walang personnel na particular sa body X-ray, walang particular para sa body scanners. Basta yung deployment natin, sabihin mo, yan yung gagawin nilang function. Now, yes.
Qualification ba kung sa baggage, like for example, Mr. X can operate either baggage or body or both.
Both na.
So, ang qualification, sir, ano na yun, can operate either or both.
The expectation is both na i-operate niya. So, pag naka-duty siya, hindi lang siya baggage x-ray, hindi man siya body scanners. Both ang i-operate niya. And the training will involve the use of both equipment.
Mr. Chair, so if the operator can operate both, yung equipment na yun magkatabi? Or
Magkatabi lang. Same class ka naman.
So, hindi. Katabing equipment, pero yung tinitingnan niya in both are monitors na. So, pwede niyang sabay yung monitor yung dalawa.
So, ang requirement nito, for every baggage, for every one, for some, how do you deploy? For example, I have, ilan ba ang x-ray yan na, let's say, ilan baggage, so one is the one. So,
One operator
for both.
for one baggage x-ray and one body scanning. Kasi siya nakaya ng operator na dalawang baggage scanners.
Isang body scanners.
So, ganun yung computation. Bakit tayo nag-arrive sa number of personnel? However, as hindi ko na po i-account ng RV mother. Yung sinabi dito na, as to the number, hindi naman siya lahat i-deploy. Maybe na, this will not be all utilized yung total number of personnel.
Hindi. The numbers here is a result of a coordination of the PPT with the various tables.
Oh, pero there is this, in 5.1, it is emphasized that there is contain some vacant position. So, would that mean that,
Kasi that's not a provision from the outsourcing.
kaya yun kung one is to one, tama, sir?
Kasi ito, talagang ito yung numbers na sila na kailangan. Yes, sir. So, ito, i-fill lang ko lahat. Yes, sir.
Itong pinapropose natin is para sa
Iba yung the TUR was developed from PPT getting the numbers and then HR incorporating provisions on outsourcing. Now, that sentence is particular to admin support personnel.
So, according to Mark, what we say here, 429 security screening. Hindi ko lang,
At the number,
1.2,
kukunin talaga dapat yan.
kukunin talaga.
Kukunin talaga dapat yan. This number is to man all of our baggage x-ray for the number of hours per day na kailangan. So, 8-hour shifts, so kailangan papapagod. Now, the reason bakit ginaling ko to, rather than security, kasi money, time na security. And iba din yung pay. Kaya, ginawa outsourcing yung pagkuha ng tao.
So, hindi na ito, the more police will no longer be handling this kind of thing. Once,
Dati-dati na sila ng security mo talaga. Yung iba security personnel, yung iba naghiram sila guys outsourcing. Kasi outsourcing na hindi naman 100% lagi.
so siguro mo is focus talaga sila.
And the port police is handled for police. So this is part of the responsibility of the port police to manage.
Nag-jump lang ako.
Hindi lang regular personnel ng port police ang manage.
Okay. Okay. Nag-jump lang ako kasi nakita ko na yung isang...
Okay. Kasi may question ako sa SLCC news.
So the proposed position title.
Yeah.
Attorney Mark?
Ayun.
Oo. Question ko lang, hindi ko lang gano'ng marinig kanina yung discussion, no? Pero ang na-capture ko lang is one operator, bali, i-operate niya dalawa.
Operates the baggage x-ray and the body scanners.
Would that be possible, especially for those na may high traffic?
Yung body scanners na, well, nag-alert kasi yung system. So, purportedly, kaya ng isang tao. Kasi kung may the body scanners, ina-alert siya kung meron siyang na-detect na metals or chemicals or drugs. Is that correct, Superintendent? So, yung sa monitor, nakikita agad yun. Eh, hindi naman siya yung hahabol sa tao. So, bali, siya mag-alert sa ibang kasamahan niya na yung individual na yan dapat ihiwalay nyo. And yung tag na yan dapat ihiwalay nyo.
Oo. Concern ko lang kasi yung sa high traffic, especially doon sa yung mga offline natin na marami talagang tao. Baka there's a need to augment yung number of personnel.
Pero in that case, kasi hindi naman yan regular, yan yung pwede nilang i-augment using either outsourced verified or security guard personnel.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
So we leave it to the port police to come up with a plan. They're just reminded, taking from it out, that during off-lunch, baka mahirapan ng isang tao sa pag-monitor, particularly yung body scanner, kasi sabay-sabay papasok yun. Yung bag kasi may flow yung bag. Kahit maraming tao, yung pagdaan ng bag yan sa loob ng machine, pareho pa rin yung speed. Yung tao lang siguro mahirapan. Although, since this is pagkatabi sa baggage x-ray, yung number of people din na pumapasok, hindi naman sabay-sabay kasi you put your bag na dala ng tao. So, control pa rin yung rate ng pagpasok.
Tapos, pag nasa baggage na, pwede, yun naman po.
Ah.
Parang ganun ba? Step 1, step 2.
Ang ano kasi nito mga procedure sa operation po natin. So muna si baggage x-ray. So lahat ng barya at ng laman ng katawan niya, nakadeposit siya, napapasok siya doon. So ngayon, pagpasok niya doon, haharap siya doon sa daan siya doon sa body scan machine natin. Makikita siya kung mayroon sa tiyatato. So siguro sa operation na hindi naman siya ganun kadalas. Pero mayroon port police o security guards nag-assist doon sa operators natin. In any case, na nag-alarm si body scan machine, ipapapress natin agad siya. Wala akong monitor na si operators na rin po.
Or it's just a matter of step 1, step 2.
Yes.
With the same person screening the steps.
Okay, John. Kasi yung mga to, hindi naman mic ang ginamit, so hindi ko ito intindihan mo. Si Angie, naintindihan na doon niya. Yeah, okay.
Yes, Attorney Mark.
Okay. Sige, so this is the proposed title, Security Screening Machine Operators SDA, based on SSL4 first tranche, which is the standard for all our JO personnel.
Yes. So the basic salary is 15,368 pesos. So the monthly billing rate for per person is 24,919.02 and the annual rate per person is 299,028.27 centavos. So dun po sa 429 number of screeners, doon po na tayo nag-arrive sa 128,283,128.59 centavos. So sa breakdown lang po, sa head office, there will be 2 number of screeners. So sa Luzon cluster, subtotal po ng sa Luzon cluster is 132. So sa Luzon po sa South, Bataan, Aurora, Batangas, Marquez, Mindoro, Bicol, Masbate, and Palawan. Sa Visayas po, 126 screeners. Sa Panay Gumaras, Negros Oriental, Siquijor, Bohol, Negros Occidental, Western Leyte, Biliran, and Eastern Leyte, Samar. While sa Mindanao, 169 screeners po sa Davao, Soc-Surgeon, Zamboanga, Zamboanga del Norte, Misamis Oriental, CDO, Lano del Norte, Iligan, Misamis Occidental, Osamis, Agusan, and Surigao, so a total number of 429 security screeners.
For police, kailan nyo verify yung numbers ito? Oh, so recent to.
Tapos, if I may say here, how did we arrive at the annual billing rate? So we have the monthly basic salary
Standard yan sa computation ng outsourcing.
for standard po. Pero pa itong overtime?
Ano?
Yes po, nag-alat po tayo ng budget sa overtime ng 5% po of the basic salary per month.
5% of the basic
Salary per month po. Actually, sir, hindi po siya sa number of hours kasi we as controllership department kung paano po nag-aalat ng budget sa overtime. So,
may allotted budget, pero that amount can cover how many hours yan?
I will check, sir.
Pero hindi yata kami sa you will not be over the 5%.
Hindi, yung maximum 5% yun.
So at least how many
Oo.
hours?
Kaya rin nga, mangyayari dyan, yung iba hindi nagagamit, nagagamit. So, maling, yung PC lang nila for overtime sa mga personal na to, up to 5%, so basically like tayo. So, it doesn't mean that each individual has to have 5%. It just says, for purposes of computation, 5% of the total amount, yan yung computed for overtime.
Overtime.
So in the past, dun sa mga
Yeah.
natin outsource, di ba nag-over sa 5%?
Hindi pa kaya lang ito.
Di ba na kaya?
Hindi, ito mangyari yan, hindi pa babayaran yun.
So previously, meron tayo dun sa compute sa price schedule na yung sa retirement, hindi na po ba yung sir?
Hindi, sa security kasi yun.
Opo.
Hindi sa security, outsourcing to. No.
Okay.
Description of services, 1-year contract for the purpose of the implementation of baggage body screening system in the ports enumerated before, where such security screening machines have been installed and are about to be installed. Minimum track record, considering its basic role in the operation, management, and administration of seaports, the PTA desires a manpower service provider who has completed within the last 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a single contract that is similar to the contract to be bid. A similar contract.
Dito yun. Meron ba magpo-qualify dyan? And secondly, this is basically a provision for outsourcing. The training will be given to the individual. So, hindi ko alam kung there's a particular value na kailangan yung security service contract hindi ko, security service contract ba, ibig sabihin security guards? Or similar to security screening security screening machine operators dapat ang kontrata niya. Kasi baka walang qualified. So, ito lang. Since we're going over this, yung SLCC, mahal na yung court police, pero you might want to take a look at this dahil baka hindi naman ganun kadami ang may mga machines. And then baka hindi nila binibid out separately. So baka wala tayong mag-qualify. So the option is, pwede kasi basically we're just requiring you provide people, sinasabi lang natin, gusto namin security screeners, ginanito to because particular na training nila. Kasi kailangan magkaroon sila ng certification or license. May certification sila. Kaya hiwalay siya sa outsourcing natin na ginawa. Separate one siya. Now, if we limit it to this, baka walang mag-qualify. So you might want to look na baka general outsourcing company lang yung kailangan nyo, hindi kailangan na security service yung provide nila ay security screening machine, ay operators.
Attorney Mark, if I may clarify further, ang ibig sabihin ba ng 4.1 to revise lang, must have at least 5 years experience of what? Hindi ko ano siya eh. Sabi niya kasi who has completed within the last 5 years.
Hindi, yun nga, similar contract.
So kumari, inaano siya, must have 5 years, at least 5 years experience.
No. Sinasabi niya within the last 5 years dapat meron siyang ganyan kontrata. Hindi niya sinasabi na within for every year meron siyang gano'n. Sinabi lang na meron within the last 5 years dapat may gito kang kontrata at dapat yung SLCC mo dapat 50%. Yung sa akin lang, baka walang mag-qualify kung i-limit mo na security screeners ang piniprovide niya.
You have a contract for port security screening.
Yes. So baka if we're that restrictive, okay, alam ko yung airport meron. Hindi ko lang alam kung binibig out ng airport sa iba yan.
Sa airport kasi sir, nang nag-deploy doon yung OPS. Pero tama yung sinabi ko. I think it is a
Yeah.
practical.
Food for thought, correct nyo lang kung kailangan nyo. Basta dapat, if you feel confident with regards to that, kayong nakakasabi niyan. Pero sinasabi ko lang, baka you need to take a look at it.
Kaya nga, kumari ako sa PWG na mag-evaluate, hahanapin nila at coordinates.
Anyway, sila Mitch naman, depende kung ano nakalagay dito, yun yung hanapin nila. So, yung concern lang is, take a look at it, baka you need to reassess either kung gusto mo talaga security, although experience natin, yung security, pag-nag-ibig dito, iba yung computation nila. So, yun. So, either you put security or outsourcing. Yan yung suggestion na.
Pero kasi, outsourcing din naman, baka it might need training.
Hindi, nakalagay na dito training. Kasama training dito. Kasi wala namang mga taong train sa ganito. Napakalat-kalat lang. Generally, yung mga trained na for this, yung may mga certificate galing sa, anong tawag yan? Saan yung certificate? Galing? Yung certificate ng ano?
Okay.
Oh, yung mga yan, may trabaho ng mga yan. So basically, you will be getting people and then i-train sila. Yeah, ano to ito? Yun nga, kaya sinabi ko siya, nung nakita ko yan, tayo ko patay tayo dito.
Kasi parang ano ito naman, pwede naman tayo kumuha ng outsourcing provider para assist sa training.
Hindi, what we need kasi, well, for me, I think what we need is a provider who has experience providing people. Now, the training is part of the contract, na iti-train ang mga tao. So, yun. Now, if you believe na kailangan nasa security end, pwede nyo ilagay na talagang security contract. Pero if you limit it to similar to this contract, baka wala tayong makuha. Kasi parang wala na narilimit na kumukuha na security screening machine operators. Basta, i-correct nyo later on kung ano, tingin nyo. I don't know if it should be outsourcing. I don't know if it should be security. Okay.
Clarification po, kung sa 1-year contract, ang nakalagay po kasi shall be effective on the date indicated in the contract. Hindi po. Tapos meron din mga portion dito nakalagay from receipt of the notice to proceed. So, dapat...
NTPC ko, no? Kasi ito naman, wala naman tayong existing contract na i-respeto. So, NTP to. Yung date indicated, that is when there's a existing contract na kailangan yun na that is the contract that will take over, diba? So, since wala namang existing contract for security screeners, they can begin. No, sabi ko lang. Hindi from NTP dapat to. Kasi they have one month to get training, di ba?
For this.
Kasi ito, they're hiring people, pero i-train pa sila, di ba?
Sir, ang naka-indicate po dito, within 3 months after ng NTP, tsaka po iti-train.
Hindi, so within 3 months.
Within
Pero
3 months.
sa atin, sayang naman na tumatakbo yung NTP mo, tapos hindi pa pwede. So, upon certification, complete ang training, siguro. Pwede ba yun? Kasi ito, there aren't that many individuals na kayang mag-assume agad ng function na to upon hiring, di ba? Kasi iti-train na sila. So there's a period na we are allotting 3 months for them to train. Pero sayang naman, hindi naman tayo magbabayad kung hindi pa nag-train, di ba? Ayun nga. So upon certification, na-train na siguro yung number of personnel. X number of personnel or 100% personnel. Look into that.
Pero sir, yung training definitely from...
From NTP yun. Pero nga, sayang naman na ipapatakbo na natin yung kontrata. Hindi naman tayo magawa yung pag-deploy. Pero sayang naman, nagbibitaw tayo. Effective that's only 9 months. Siyempre, makapagod si MP. Nga, kaya sila. Hindi sayang pera. Hindi naman tayo magawa kung hindi sila mag-deploy eh. Pero bakit natin papatakbuhin na yung metro kung hindi pa ready mag-assume? So, maganda siguro, from completion of training, 1 year from completion of training, and from certification by the ODS. Kasi only then, qualified sila mag-ban, di ba?
Kunwari, sinertify na yung person na COVID. O pero siya i-deploy.
Yun nga. From ganyan, i-deploy na siya. So, tumatakbo na yung So, in effect, you only start a contract when the provider has trained the people to assume the function. Kasi papatakbuhin mo yung kontrata, hindi naman din tayo magbabayad dahil hindi pa trained ng mga tao.
So after the issuance of notice of procedure,
Ha? Hindi. From the notice to proceed, iti-train na sila. Pero papatakbuhin naman natin ang kontrata. Hindi, pero yun nga. Pero yung length of service, ay yung length of the contract, may kontrata ka na nga. Pero yung count natin ng 1 year, is a start ba ng, pwede naman natin may kontrata tayo, hindi tayo nagka-count from the date ng NTB. Di ba? Pwede naman natin nakalagay, may contract na nga tayo, pero our 1-year contract, the accounting of 1 year starts on X date. Pareho yan sa yung sinasabi na contract it begins at the date stated. Kasi halimbawa yan, in procurement, dahil mga existing contract, what is being bid out is to take over the existing contract. Maaga mo start yun. Pero, yung end ng i-date mo yung effectivity ng yung 1-year contract mo at the end, after the expiry of the other contract. So, your contract could have been signed in February, pero the obligation to begin the contract begins in March. Yes?
So where do we issue the NTP?
You issue the NTP. Walang mangyayari doon. The obligation to perform the function happens on a later date.
How do we perform the function while we are waiting for that happen to?
Hindi yun nga, wala, status quo tayo until may tao silang ready to take over.
Hindi ba dapat dito pa lang, if I may go back to item number 4, yung sinabi natin minimum track record, di ba kaya...
For hiring yan ng tao. Hindi kasi ito, you may have people, but the people are not qualified to perform the function. Alang-alang naman magbabayad na tayo eh, hindi pa siya ready. Hindi naman tayo magbabayad kung hindi pa siya nag-duty. Pero yun nga, 1-year contracts na pwede magagawa natin. Kaya yung patakbuhin natin ng mga ganyan, hindi pa naman tama ang tumakbo.
Pero kaya ka for me, why we are requiring them to have that experience of having deal with court security. So that, in effect, meron na silang
Wala kang tool na makukuha hindi na Jim. Wala pang yan. Hindi yan parang accountants na maraming accountants. Wala namang nag-training na sa OTS just for the heck of it.
okay, hunting na outsource siya. So nag-NTP ka.
So NTP, ako as provider, alam ko, I can start hiring people for this. Pero yung kontrata natin will begin 1 year na obligation nila. Once, sabihin na, okay, kita na kami train, start na tayo. Doon na tayo para at least 12 years ang pinapahirap natin.
Pero while waiting for that, meron yung status ko kayo.
Oo.
Kung sino yung...
Oo. Kasi wala kang pwede magpalit eh.
So let's say na-award yung contract ng January. So magpupul plus pa lang yung new person there by the time that they were trained.
Yes.
After how many months?
Hindi. Maximum of 3 months. If they finish it in 1 month, they 1 month. If they finish it in 2 days, they 2 days.
Kasi dapat nakalagay sa contract.
Yun nga. Yung nga sabi kanina, na should it be the date of issuance of the certificate ng OTS na trained na yung mga tao? Ito kasi, we can only... Oo. Okay, by OTS. Now, hindi ko alam kung aantayin ba natin na 100%. Hindi, kaya naman natin ilagay kasi yung ano. Yung sa akin lang, sayang yung period. Kasi, okay, ito. Sayang yung period sa akin. Okay, we can do it from NTP. Pero ito, there will be a time for training. Nasabayangan ako na mangyari effectively 11 months lang yung screeners. We have to start bidding again. Gusto ko isulit yan. Kasi mangyari ito. Mangyayari, moving down the line, our outsourced personnel procurement month is March. So we are going to be this out now. So mangyayari dyan, matatapos, ayaw ko masyado mahaba yung extension natin para umabot lang sa March na time na. Kasi ito mangyayari dito, syempre hindi siya masasali sa next year. So mag-i-end tayo ng mga December.
That would be the case, Mr. Chair. So, dapat nasa TOR na...
Yan ang pinag-uusapan natin dito.
That, whoever is the winning bidder shall start...
Hindi, kaya nga nakalagay yung pinag-uusapan yung one-year contract. When will we say it starts? When will we say the one-year contract begins? Sa akin, we can say it starts from NTP. Pero sa akin, we know naman na even with the NTP, hindi pa train ng mga tao. So why do we say from NTP ang takbo? When we can say na, okay, pag train na yan, doon na lang tatakbo. You get my point?
Yeah. So, paano natin lalagay?
Yun. One-year contract will run from the issuance of the OTS of certification. Yung sa akin lang, kasi baka mahirap yung 100%. Yes.
Sir, instead of yung issuance ng OTS, yung sana acceptance ng PTA
Na sufficient number.
ng certificate, sir. Kasi di ba parang, ang ano naman, na hindi pa natin natatanggap yung mga certifications na issue pa lang ng OTS, nagra-run na yung period niya.
Okay, hindi, pero sa akin, receipt of PTA of the OTS, certificate of OTS. Yung sa akin, baka mahirap na abangan natin ng 100% yung 429. Diba? Kasi una, baka mahirapan silang magkamap with 429. So, baka biglang mag-aabang tayo ng matagal, pwede na tayo sana mag-deploy. So, anong sufficient percentage na trained personnel na pwede natin, sige, takbo na natin yan, pwede mo na i-deploy yan para tumakbo yung kontrata. Or, pwede kaya mag-certificate of acceptance. So parang moving number na ba? So as long as they present the numbers, once we feel it's sufficient, we issue a certificate na for certificate of deployment, parang gano'n.
Attorney Mark?
Yes.
Oo. Tanong ko lang, ilang weeks sila dapat after yung notice to proceed na mag-undergo ng training sa OTS?
Within 3 months matapos sila.
Within 3 months?
Kasi sa numbers nito, and siyempre depende kung kailan magkaroon ng training yung OTS, tapos ilan yung classes na available. Now, baka naman kasi, okay, let's say in the first month ay matapos na may 200, aabangan ba natin na magkaroon ng 429 before we say, sige, go muna yan.
Pwede naman ang minimum lang. For example, 75%.
Pero, do we put a number or we can say na upon issuance of PPA by notice or certificate of deployment upon submission of certificate from OTS para ito tayo na lang mag-decide kung kasi halimbawa ganyan. Meron tayong mga ports na walang security screeners. Baka biglang mas mainam na i-man na natin yan kasi para may security screener sa doon, and then i-maintain mo na yung iba, slowly mag-trickle in, papalit-palit lang naman tayo niyan eh, ng tao. So, I don't know what the magic number is. Diba? Not all damage X-ray are banned based on echo observation. So, I can't say na 50%, dapat 50%. Kasi baka mainam na yung, tanggapin na natin yung 20% para maman naman lang to.
For example, yung 429, service provider, wala ko yung kahit isa o X numbers from that pool sa walang certificate.
Kailangan may certificate lang yan.
I don't know, I think that we award the contract. For sure, yung kapag-release ng pool,
That's unlikely.
wala kayo.
Baka may isla, sige, may isla.
Sa 420,
Pero marami, oh. Kasi usually, you get a certificate pag mag-deploy ka. Nag-take, yearly ba yan? Your certificate?
Upon request.
Upon request.
so kapag yung 420, at least
Hindi,
how long will it
May button kasi hindi ka na-resin eh.
So at least how long would be the training? I mean, number of hours ba yan? Number of days? Kasi doon mo ano na, ilang steps ba yung pwedeng i-train? So that,
Kasi nangyari ito, hindi lang naman siguro tayo lang ayun open dyan. So, mahirap magsabi na, okay, they can do, it's 8-hour training, kailangan, kaya na 30 per day, it will become a simple computation. First, they will have to get individual. Second, may ibang mga agencies din na request ng certification na yan. Third, depende sa schedule ng OTS yan. So, hindi clear-cut para sa akin ang computation. Hindi mo masabi talaga yung schedule. Kaya yung nakalagay dito, dapat within 3 months, matrain mo na sila. Pero sa akin, hindi naman siguro practical na antayin natin matrain lahat before tumatakbo. Yun nga. Hindi, depende naman din sa atin yan kung ilan din ang ilalagay natin. Pero yun sa akin, first, you take into consideration when do you want the contract to start running. Second, baka naman hindi kailangan 100% na train na. Halimbawa, sufficient, ano ba yung sufficient number na ready personnel to be deployed? Ang masabi mo, let's deploy ko na yan, let's start the contract. So, two aspects so, for police, first, check ano yung SLCC na gusto ninyo. Anong similar contract. Second, dapat i-consider mo siguro when do you want the contract to start. Kasi may training aspect to.
Mr. Chair, OTS lang ba talaga ang preparation? Walang ibang other training institute that we can, accept the certification?
I don't know. For police. Okay? Sige. Kasi, so, yung options niya, you can from issuance of entity or a period later on. So, pag meron silang certification na they have 20% or ganyan, i-complete sa inyo. Kasi, yun na, baka gusto nyo ma-deploy na para yung security limitations natin, ma-plug na yun, or you want X number na ma-deploy sa may. Okay? Proceed. Unless there are any comments from the back.
Sir, confirm ko lang po sana, yung sa binigay kasi ni Port Police, security screeners officer course conducted by the OTS or its accredited institution po. Yung
Okay.
Mayroon. Okay.
Okay.
So obligations and responsibilities. The winning manpower service provider shall provide security screening operators listed in Annex A. So yung nakalagay lang din po yan.
Yeah.
Next. The contract to be awarded to the winning manpower service provider shall be a period of 1 year. TPA shall pay the contractor for the service rendered by security screeners upon presentation of a semi-monthly personal payment and affidavit of sworn certification that it has paid the salaries, benefits, and premium of the security screeners such as PGCS, PhilHealth, TCC, and etc., as well as the withholding of taxes to be account. The contractor shall agree to pay other wages as mandated by law or requested by TPA, such as gratuity pay, hazard pay, and etc., without additional charges, and reimbursable to TPA subject to existing government auditing and accounting rules and regulations. The contractor shall comply with the Department's Order Number 18A, Series of 2011, or the labor law standards and social legislations. The contractor shall agree to increase or decrease the number of security screeners not exceeding 10% of the original contract price. The contractor shall assume liability for any or losses and damages, destructions to property, or death, injuries sustained by TPA and its employees, guests, passengers, which are attributed to the negligence, fault, laxity, and unlawful act of misconduct of the service provider or any of its officers or security screeners. The security screeners provided shall be physically fit, possessing agility and alertness to deliver duties and responsibilities. The contractor shall ensure physical and psychological fitness of security screeners by subjecting them to medical examinations and psychological evaluations. TPA reserves the right to accept or reject security screeners found unqualified. TPA shall exercise functional and operation supervision of security screeners through Port Police Division. TPA shall exercise visitorial power or conduct inspection or audit of the service provider's compliance. The contractor shall confer or meet with authorized representatives of TPA on issues and concerns pertaining to implementation of the contract. The contractor shall submit to TPA detailed reports of undertaking and unusual incidents. The contractor shall make available at any reasonable time all documents related to the contract for inspection, examination, and audit by TPA. The contractor shall deploy security screeners with the following qualifications: Filipino citizen, at least 21 years old, and preferably not more than 50 years old upon hiring, physically and mentally fit, able-bodied, not less than 5 feet and 4 inches height per male, and not less than 5 feet and 2 inches per female.
Attorney, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Oo. Question ko lang, dun kasi sa height requirement, bakit may height requirement? Di ba to discriminatory or talagang required yung ganun yung height nila? Meron ba silang...
Sandali. Saan ba natin nakuha to?
Sa Port Police.
Saan natin nakuha yung height na to? Kawawa naman si Angie.
Buti na lang 5'2" ako, pwede ako mag-apply. Paano kung 5 lang?
Pero sir, ano naman po siya? Pag private naman po, wala yung problem sa discrimination.
Kasi Karina, baka, this is we are hiring 429 people. Sigurado ba tayo na kaya natin ito with this requirement?
Ang tanong ko kasi, Mr. Chair, what's the reason of the height requirement? Baka naman kasi may aabutin na dapat talaga hindi na sila tutungtong sa Apple box para maabot nila. Kasi kung wala, they will just see dun sa monitor. I don't see that there should be a restriction on the height requirement eh.
So for police?
Considering this is a security position. So kailangan i-raising din natin yung requirements based on the security guidelines po. So sa social kasi natin, meron tayong height requirements. Pero kung ipasa natin outsourcing, siguro mas magandang i-move natin ito.
Hindi. Ginawa natin outsourcing. Pero if you say that there's a particular reason for the height, anong guidelines yun?
PNP social.
Ano social?
Yung sa security service rin.
Ay, kung gano'n, hindi mapapagalian. Sigurado like na 6 months experience security screening operation. So, at least 6 months experience in security screening operations.
Wala na may training. Ang siguro. Siguro, preferable.
Ako tagalit. Yung ano?
Pwede tagalit.
I think experience.
Pero kailangan bakit wala? Nakakisip yung turisya yung magsabi lang na. Pwede naman daw taasan mo po.
Hindi, so ano? For police.
Yung retake tayo?
Kailangan talaga may height.
Okay, retake tayo.
Sa part pa rin kasi ng security. So meron tayo.
Okay, so for this part of security. Okay, experience, kailangan ba yan?
At kahit hindi na siguro sir, kasi may training naman.
Oo, kasi pagka kailangan ito, magkakaroon siya ng discrepancy doon sa pinag-usapan natin kami. Wala training.
Okay.
Next qualification, good moral character, reputation, and has no criminal and derogatory record, has a capability to communicate in English and proficient in major dialects.
Paano nyo nalaman yung good reputation?
Automatic naman ito sir.
Attorney Mark?
Yes.
Oo. Atong mga requirements na to, ano yung titingnan ng TWG to confirm kung pasado sila dito? Or no need for the TWG to look into this?
Hindi, kasi
Ano ba?
wala ka namang tao pagdating sa TWG. So, yung end user more problema nito.
Okay, no need parang certification lang from the proponent kung qualified sila dito lahat. So the TWG will not look into the CVs of the...
Wala kang tao dito wala kang CV pagdating sa TWG.
Okay.
You are the TWG.
Parang ano na lang ito na if for police will profit sa operation na lang.
Hindi, magiging grounds yan for this discussion. Okay.
Then last, must have basic knowledge on computer application. Security screener shall render 8 hours a day with rest period of not less than 24 consecutive hours after every 6 consecutive normal work days. Overtime may be required for a minimum of 2 hours and a maximum of 4 hours on weekdays and a maximum of 8 hours during holidays or rest day. Provision of 5 sets
Ms.
of
Alfie, excuse naman. So nasa 5.16, you have there the number of hours for, sabi natin, shall required to render service beyond 8 hours for a minimum of 2 hours. So if we will assume to compute this, hindi ba ito mag-over dun sa 5% ceiling?
Ma'am, kung i-sasagot po ba?
So, kasi kasi na yung overtime yung required ka niya. Kasi yung everyday, dapat may 8 hours ka. Ay, may 4 hours ka.
So ito yung ano. Basta it will not exceed to the,
It's all covered, but it's overarching restriction na yung budget na overtime is 5%.
The contractor shall agree to provide 5 sets of office uniform to security screeners to be deployed under the contract. So within the period of 3 months upon issuance of notice to proceed, security screeners must be provided the following training programs. Security screeners officer course conducted by Office for Transportation Security or its accredited institution. Bomb identification and deadly weapon detection seminar, and OTS accredited security awareness seminar for personnel with security responsibilities.
Mr. Chair, these items, so these are other training requirements. Kasi sabi nila, kung tawag within the 3-month period, shall provide security treatment the following training programs. So all these 3 or any of the 3?
All, anything.
Tuloy mo lang yung tatlo ng package sa
So these are the training programs that they will be required to undergo within that 3-month period. Na that we will be requiring them to be certified.
Security screener shall undergo performance evaluation on a semi-annual basis. Based on the performance evaluation, PPA may opt to recommend pre-termination or non-renewal of contract of the security screeners. The contractor shall provide insurance coverage or pay for life insurance premium for its operators. The contractor shall advance overtime expenses incurred by security screeners. The contractor shall comply with all the provisions of the contract and contract documents. Non-compliance or violation and or termination of contract after due notice. The performance of service provider shall be evaluated semi-annually based on the provisions of the TOR. Other conditions of the contract, number 1, adherence to PPA rules and regulations, provision of identification cards, issuance of film badge dosimeter, service complaints acted within 24 hours upon receipt of written notice, deployment of a supervisor, continuity of service must be ensured, no employer-employee relationship, accident, death, injury shall be the responsibility of the service provider. So the duration of the contract for the provision of security screening machine operator shall be effective for a period of 1 year to be indicated in the contract. Venue of action or actions relating to the contract shall all be instituted before appropriate courts in the city of Manila, Philippines.
Mr. Chair, if I may go back again to section 5.18, yung sa training. So once na-finalize na sa court police, kasi nakalagay, the contractor within the period of 3 months, so this will be subject to further review yung upon issuance of notice to proceed. Kasi sabi natin kanina kung tatakbo na ba yung 3-month period. Oo. So once they decided on what to provide in the contract, itong 5.18, ano din siya,
Tama.
change. Every 6 months lang yung performance evaluation.
Okay na. Job.
Mr. Chair, sorry, hindi ko narinig kanina yung sagot ng Port Police dun sa kung required yung lahat ng trainings.
Yes.
Required. Okay, sige. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone.
So what's next? Will we review again the revision POR for another review or
Device na nila tapos.
revise and then can we review again?
Sure. Pwede natin.
Or try, sige, hindi, for, pero wala lang.
Walang formal. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the POR subject to the recommendations, comments, and suggestions by the members of the BAC. And after which, for the next bid process, which is okay, for publication, sorry.
Motion has been properly raised and seconded. Going to petition thereto. There being none, the pre-procurement conference for provision of security screening machine operator for 50 portal project, port management office, and terminal management office ports is hereby considered complete, and the same is approved for procurement, subject to the comments, recommendations raised today. Secretary is invited to proceed with the publication of the same. Once the changes have been finalized and the submission of the staff. Anything else? There being none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.